I'm Leon Todd for G66. Welcome to another Tuesday Tone Tip. On today's video, we're using the latest Axe-FX 3 firmware 21.01, and I want to give you a few different ideas to use this new Paragon Wah type in the wah block. It's based on a Tycho Brahe para pedal, which is one of the most unique wah pedals to have ever been made, as famously used by Tony Iommi and a certain section of the 70s music production industry. Basically, it has a really unique fat tone with a super wide sweep on it. It sounds pretty distinct from the other wah models that are available in the Axe-FX 3. So what I want to do is just give you a very quick example with the control parameter mapped to my expression pedal. I've got my Fractal EV1 plugged into an FC controller, pedal slot number 1. So I've just pointed it there. What I might do is actually just let you hear, say, like the Crybaby wah type, and then we'll flip over to the new Paragon, just so you can have a listen to what it does to this clean sound, neck pickup of the Strat. Very, very interesting there. You can hear it is super fat sounding compared to the typical Crybaby, which is great on a clean sound like this. And with the control parameter all the way up at 10, it doesn't get super harsh or thin sounding, which is why it works really, really nicely with these clean sounds. So obviously attaching an expression pedal in here and using it is going to be one way to use this particular wah, and it's probably the way most people are going to enjoy it. But there's a few other ones that I've been enjoying just because it's such a fat, unique sounding wah. Let's right click the control parameter and assign the envelope follower in here. So we can use this as a touch wah in the controllers section. That's the sequencer. We'll get to that in a second. On the envelope manual section, you can see in here, I've set up the envelope controller for this particular guitar. I've got the attack and release around 26, 27 milliseconds, and then I've just tweaked the threshold and the gain so that when I play as hard as possible, this envelope meter fills up. Gives us this. That is an awesome sounding touch wah. It's almost like a cross between a traditional wah and a really fat envelope filter on there. So I think a lot of people are going to like this for their kind of sweepy filter sounds in there. And again, because it's not getting too harsh at the top of the range, I think it works really well for these cleaner sounds. Another super fun one, you saw the little spoiler before, but I'm going to use the sequencer. So we'll make a seq wah in here. Basically, in the sequencer, I've set it to 8 stages. I've got run and step on. I've actually synced up the sequencer to the tempo. So it's an 8th note subdivision in here. And I've just plugged in some values that I find particularly enjoyable on here. You can set these to whatever you like. You can have as many stages as you like as well. What this sounds like to me, because the wah kind of cuts out at the bottom end of the range, it's almost like a cross between a filter and like a step tremolo or something like that. It's going to be really cool combining it with a tempo synced delay as well. To start off with, I'll just give you this sequenced wah, and then I'll bring in these rhythmic delays. This is totally awesome if you like psyche sounds. Let's go back to that initial setup where I've got the Paragon Wah set up with my expression pedal, but this time with a big, filthy, dirty sound and some multi-tap delay on here. You almost get some kind of synthy style tones at the bottom range of the control parameter, and the overall sweep is just gigantic. I really like with the control parameter up around 7, 8, 9, just leaving it as a fixed style wah or filter before gain as well. But I'll give you an example of all of those now. Now, of course, you can see that the frequency minimum is quite low on here compared to other wah pedals in here. I mean, if we turn this up somewhere in like the 400 hertz range, like a lot of the other ones, it's still not going to sound like a traditional Crybaby or something like that. The original pedal, as I understand it, actually has 2 pots to control the sweep. So bringing up that frequency minimum so that it doesn't completely cut out at the bottom is something you might want to do if you're using it for leads. Or alternatively, you can just not assign anything to this. We'll set the modifier to none and just kind of set the control where you like it as kind of like a pre-boost filter. I love it around 8 for just a big, smooth, creamy lead sound. I might even bring the level up to give it even more of a boost into the front end of the amp. And let's have a listen to what it does to the core tone. So thick and creamy. I've got one last harebrained idea for you. Let's try this. We'll right-click the control parameter and assign it to the pitch follower. So I want my low notes, which are going to be the minimum parameter here, to have maximum wah. So I'll turn this up to 10. But I want my high notes to be kind of fattened up. So I'll set them to around 8. And I will just adjust the release here to be a little bit longer so it doesn't cut between those values too quickly. What I'm going to have now is when I play on the low string on this guitar, the control parameter is going to be all the way up. So I'm going to get that kind of sharper sounding wah on the low notes, really making them stick out. But then when I come up high, I'm going to get that big, fat, creamy sound with the control parameter around 8. I'll just bring the level control back somewhere around 0. I might play you all out with this example as well. If you've got any other questions, let me know in the comments section below. Requests, put them in the comments. And go and have some fun with this Paragon Wah. Hopefully some of these ideas inspire you to make some music, and let me know what you like. Just using it with an expression pedal, sequence wah, touch wah. This example we're going to have right here are just as kind of a fixed wah. It's a great addition to the wah block. It's got its own unique thing going on. And you know, the original para pedals are like really, really expensive. So we get this one absolutely for free in true fractal style. I'll see you all next week. Have a great one, and let's hear this with this kind of pitch modifier control wah. I don't know what to call it, but it does this.